To have a life that works, one that isn't full of anxiety and fear and stress and wondering what you're going to do next and hiding all the time, there isn't a lot that you need to learn. There really isn't. There's just things that you need to go deep in instead of going wide. There isn't 20,000 things you need to know in order to make things work. There's just a few. You need to understand how to get people with Asperger's out of defense mode. You need to understand how to shift perspectives so that you can always stay grounded. You need to understand how to be with it, as we say, which is just allowing your sensations to happen. And you just need to understand basically when to worry and when not to, and how things work. You understand the higher level stuff, and the lower level stuff trickles down. Like, here's an example. We get questions every single day here at Asperger Experts. So over the course of the past, since 2012, I can math, 4 years, in the course of the past 4 years, we've gotten about 43,000 questions from people. Now, do I know the answer to all 43,000 of those questions to the point where I've studied it and had it in my own life? No. But do I know enough about the big picture of how Asperger's works and what is going on that it doesn't matter if you say my 12-year-old is really addicted to knitting versus my 17-year-old is really depressed and in their room all day? The answer to those questions is the same thing, because once you understand the higher level stuff of how it works, it all fits in there. An example of this would be, instead of understanding all the recipes in the world for how to cook, you understand the fundamentals of how to actually pair flavor and how to do cooking techniques. Then you no longer need a recipe. If somebody goes, hey, do you have a good recipe for chicken parmesan? You go, I haven't studied a recipe, but I know how to make chicken parm because I know these are the ingredients and what quantities and how it tastes because I know how those ingredients interact. And that is a lot easier than, what do I do in this situation? What do I do in that situation? What do I do in situation A? What do I do in situation A.23A-Z? We get to this point where it's like, instead of knowing every single situation, you have the higher level stuff. You know how it works, and that makes it a lot easier. Now, if you're wondering how to do this, there's a lot of information on our website, aspergerexperts.com, that explains to you in depth. I mean, this is literally what we do for a living, is teach people how to do all this stuff. So I'm not going to do it in this video, otherwise we would be here for a day or more, like literally 24 hours. But there are tons of other videos and materials on our website that can help you and assist you to understand these core key concepts. And there are these little things that make a big difference. I'm a fan of doing minimal work to get maximum result. I don't think there's anyone in the world that would say they aren't a fan of that. No, I want to do more work and get less results. But when you work with big key core concepts such as getting out of the defense mode, perspective shifting, things like that, a whole bunch of stuff under it changes. So if you go deep, that sort of makes it go wide just through your breadth of understanding of that one concept.